Hey everyone, and welcome back to the World of Warcraft news. It has been quite the week. First, over 1,800 of you joined our Discord. It's a lovely community that's developing over there. I'd highly recommend checking it out, especially the Lore Speculation channel. That's a great group of people. Also, it's Druid Month over on Patreon. Yet another gorgeous set of art from our game development team, and it's the best way to support what we've been doing. And on that, thank you for all of your support on last week's announcement video. Seriously, that was a massive morale boost to the whole team, and they all really appreciated it. Oh, and also, episode 4 of the Complete WoW History went up yesterday, so there's that. And with all that housekeeping done, let's get into the video. Okay, recruiter friend, let us begin with the most dramatic story of this week. Don't worry, there'll be actual game content later on if that's the only segment of the video that you're interested in. So, the recruiter friend system went away in June with Blizzard saying it would be back shortly. In the time between then and now, they also introduced Party Sync on the PTR. That is a feature that makes a whole lot more sense now, given how it seems like it will release alongside the new recruiter friend. Now, I did say this was a dramatic story, and I think it's dramatic for a decent enough reason here. Recruit a Friend has always had rewards, yes, and that's ranged from mounts to pets to game time. That is continuing, but I think Blizzard have been just a little tad dastardly with the particular rewards that they've chosen. So, you know the League of Explorers from Hearthstone? Well, it's basically all themed around that aesthetic, which, if you think about it, a lot of people have played Hearthstone who have not played WoW, so that would be an aesthetic they would be kind of aware of. But anyway, first, an explanation of this system before we deconstruct it. You can recruit new players or just people who have not purchased game time in their account over the last 2 years. Now, given how Classic just drove a massive uptick in subscriptions, I suspect that fewer accounts would be eligible for that now than it would have been a while ago, and you could tinfoil hat and say that, well, maybe they want that so they get all of those accounts to subscribe and then people to get the cosmetics just do it on a dummy account. You kind of could sort of tinfoil that, but let's move on. Anyhow, like with Old Recruiter Friend, you can teleport to each other and get a 50% experience boost while leveling. There are then, of course, rewards for the person who does the recruiting. And this is where things are a little bit different, actually, and it's where you can really see the money-making potential of Blizzard's new setup here. So, for every month of game time that you drive into World of Warcraft, you get rewards, with the first 12 months having a set group of rewards, and you then just getting game time every 3 months after that. Now, the thing is that can be 12 months from one friend, 6 months from 2 friends, and so on. And you can earn those rewards faster the more people that you recruit to the game. So one friend adding multiple months of game time would be the same as multiple friends adding 1 month. And this basically means the new rewards are, yeah, they kind of are cosmetic microtransactions because you, a player, can just drop a year of game time instantly on a fresh account that you recruit, and you can just get all of the cosmetics instantly. So doing that will give you all the rewards plus 4 game time rewards. Now, assuming that each one of those game time rewards is 30 days, you'll basically be paying 8 months of game time in order to get all the cosmetics. That's $120. So let's look at the rewards themselves. Month 1 gives you a monkey pet, month 2 gives you game time, 3 gives you a nifty looking camel mount, and 4 gives you the renowned explorer title. Month 5 gives you game time, while month 6 gives you a weapon enchant transmog, then month 7 gives you the renowned explorer's tabard, while 8 gives you game time, 9 gives you a desert themed dual seater plane, 10 then gives you a rucksack back slot cosmetic, 11 gives you game time, and then 12 gives you the renowned explorer's attire. So that's 2 mounts, a tabard, a pet, an enchant effect transmog, a rucksack, a title, and a transmog ensemble, all for $120. Well, the thing is, mounts cost $25 in the store, and there's 2 of them, so that's $50 of value. Then the Mog helms, when they were sold, I think they cost $15. Pets cost $15. So if the backpack was sort of an equal value to one of the old helms, and the pet was also $15, and maybe the tabard and the enchant were, say, $10 each, that's about $100 of value, maybe $120. So they basically are priced in terms of current game store items. Now, the 2 mounts come from 3 and 6 months, with there being 3-month rewards or game time rewards during that period, meaning they basically cost 6 months of sub. So that's what, $90 for 2 mounts, a pet, and like a tabard. Point basically here is, right, that these are actually priced in the same terms as the current in-game store items, and given how you can get them instantly upon purchasing multiple months, they do effectively operate as traditional microtransaction cosmetic items. So understanding that angle to things, that is the read that many people people have had on this situation, I think you can see that, yeah, like Blizzard are selling a cosmetic backpack, a transmog set, a tabard, and an enchant on basically the in-game store, and that is somewhat of a first for the game. Now, it's worth saying, this new stuff looks gorgeous. The art team, as always, have absolutely outdone themselves. They're incredible over at Blizzard, so I won't lie, I think these look amazing, but it obviously has kicked up controversy for a few reasons that I do think are valid. So first, there's always the argument that these would be best used as in-game rewards, in this case, particularly for archaeology. Now, that's really a fair criticism. Archaeology is one of the game features that has, I think, the most promise, but the least delivery. It's something that's tremendously sad given the rich history of Azeroth and how much fun that could be. It's always felt like a bit of an abandoned profession, probably, more so now than ever, given that these are the perfect rewards for archaeology. So that's a fair criticism. Then next, we've got a new type of cosmetic, one that's never been seen in the game before. Backpacks, right? One of these rewards is a backpack. It looks really cool. Even just the novelty of actually wearing a backpack is, well, it's oddly exciting. But the thing is, well, it's the first backpack to ever be put in the game, and rather than be from playing the game, it is a cosmetic microtransaction, which I do believe leaves a bad taste in one's mouth. I mean, it certainly does show where Blizz's priorities are in this one, given that somebody can just drop a year of subscription at once to instantly get this. Really, I think the core of why this stings for people is that it's a unique and desirable, reward. And this is by far the best kind of adventure, Indiana Jones-like set of cosmetics in the game, and it's only available through Recruit a Friend, which does involve money being turned over. Ultimately, cosmetic microtransactions do have to be desirable in order for Blizzard to make money selling them, so this stuff is going to continue. I just wish Blizz had a bit more tact with it. And based on some scuttlebutt I've heard, let's just say expect stuff like this to keep on going in the future. WoW certainly doesn't make its money from subs alone. Sure, subs are important, but as a Blizzard PR person said themselves to me, and this was them in an official capacity, not even a back channel or anything, cosmetic microtransactions are important to Blizzard to the point of subscriber numbers no longer being an accurate representation of the game itself. An official Blizz person said that to me. So, as always, look, with these segments about the money side, when I do them, my goal is to deconstruct the business model so that you fully understand it. We're in an era where intellectual property has replaced much of culture, and where fandom is often abused by faceless corporations who really don't care about you. And while many will defend this store, remember, this is the same Activision Blizzard who axed 800 staff earlier this year. This is the same Activision Blizzard that underpays staff for its area, basically exploiting passion for, exploiting passion and the fact that people just want to get into Blizz, and not really compensating them at sort of standard industry rates. So as much as, we can all love World of Warcraft and Classic and, the lore of the game and all that, I do think it's worth being very skeptical of elements of the business side of things. As much as they're not fun to talk about, they're not comfortable to talk about sometimes, I do think they are a very important topic. Anyhow, with that exciting business covered, let's talk about patch 8.2.5 because it has had another PTR build, and while it doesn't really add much that we can see, it adds a lot we can speculate about. First, the splash screen confirms that 8.2.5 will see the end of the war campaign. It features the art of Sylvanas and Anduin, clearly teasing a large confrontation between the Alliance and the Horde forces, and if you think about it, they're probably going to tie off the war campaign in order to funnel us into some massive event in patch 8.3. So I think quite clearly what we're going to be seeing is, our Alliance and Horde Rebel characters waiting for Sylvanas' revenge in Thunderbluff, and that's going to be probably a massive storyline. Now, the only other bit of information that we have is Wowhead data mined what looks to be a Durotar Warfront, and that Sarfang has loads of scene scripts, and that indicates that he'll be in a lot of the in-game cutscenes. That's not all, though, because the recent build also added 2 encrypted cinematics. Now, here's the thing about these. Combined, they're very long indeed, clocking in at 3 minutes 18 and 6 minutes 18. Now, it has been pointed out by some that these times are quite close to the Old Soldier and Lost Honor cinematics, but I think we need to take a deeper look at that one. Lost Honor is 6 minutes 21 on YouTube. Its first 7 seconds is the Blizz logo, and the last 21 seconds is the Battle for Azeroth logo and the YouTube end card. And while I could see Blizz display their own logo at the start of the Old Soldier cinematic, I highly doubt they'll just leave 10 seconds of the BfA logo and then 10 seconds of a YouTube end screen. So remove those, and Old Soldier is down below 6 minutes runtime, so shorter than the encrypted cinematic we see here. The same goes for Lost Honor, which is 3 minutes 18, screen, just like one of the encrypted videos, but 18 of those seconds are the BfA logo and text saying worldofwarcraft.com. That is not something Blizzard would leave in the in-game version of the cinematic, so I think these are actually real. Plus, why bother encrypting two cinematics we've already seen, and on top of that, why not also include the third cinematic in that series, Safe Haven? So I think it's fairly clear that these are two new cinematics that will round off the war campaign. I think it can happen in two ways. I think maybe one of these will be the launch cinematic for the patch, and the other one could be the finale of the war campaign, or it could be an Alliance and a Horde cinematic for the same event, presumably with the Horde one being a little bit longer because, well, I'm sure they'll have a spicy situation at the end. Whatever it is though, I think it's abundantly clear that Blizz are going to end the war campaign with a bang. I think it'll be absolutely massive. That last cinematic, I think it's going to be one of the most important in-game cinematics we've seen in quite some time. It's going to set up 8.3, and I also think Blizzard are doing this whole thing knowing that their timelines are aligning such that this will drop like just before BlizzCon, which means they'll enter BlizzCon with a lot of hype for that story, and they'll be able to do their massive patch reveal for 8.3 at BlizzCon, which could be a pretty exciting thing. Now, indeed, if that Shadowlands leak that we covered a while ago is true, then yeah, it would take a cinematic like that to set things up, showing, you know, the battle for Thunderbluff and then Sylvanas taking Stormwind. And I mean, sure, Stormwind being taken wouldn't make sense in in-game sort of sense for a while, but hey, that didn't stop them with the Siege of Orgrimmar, so I doubt it's going to stop them this time. No doubt though, I think it's going to be pretty large, I think quite controversial, as most BfA plot developments have been, but it certainly will give us a lot to talk and speculate about. And then finally, for today's bit of news, Blizzard have added a new UI element called Show Final Destination. And no, it's not a horror movie tie-in, it's a button that brings you to a quest's final marker on your map, allowing you to more easily navigate around the in-game map. So there you go, that is the World of Warcraft news for this week. It's a sort of interesting one because patch 8.2.5, like, hit the PTR, had a bunch of updates, we were able to do our fun Rathian video, and then it was just silent. Silent to the point where whenever they were doing WoW Classic stress tests, the PTR servers would go down. And believe me, that interrupted a lot of our video making. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. That's beginning to heat up now. We did do previous videos speculating the release date of 8.2.5, and they pretty much put it in mid to late September. Now, like, it is actually possible that could still be the case. We may see it pushed to early October. Nothing here has been marked as a release candidate yet, so I think we're at least 2 weeks off. So yeah, we're at least like late September, could be early October. Now, if you have that patch coming out in early October, that's when you get your big sort of hype lore, and then that leads you pretty much naturally into BlizzCon, and I'd say we would see, you know, the BlizzCon Friday reveal of 8.3, and then maybe that Monday or Tuesday, I think that's when we'd see it on the PTR. You'd then have that PTR begin in early November, and then, you know, what, 2 months sort of, yeah, so from November to December, and then maybe a release in very early January. I think that's my current prediction for just how Battle for Azeroth is going to go over the next while. Of course, though, let me know what you think, and why not, instead of letting me know what you think down in these video comments, do it on our shiny new Discord, which is a very fun place to hang out, especially if you want to get that delicious lore speculation. I mean, there's times I wake up, I look at my phone, I just see Discord 75 plus missed messages, 300 missed messages, all on that speculation channel. It's a really good one. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know what you think down below, and with that, I will see you later.